Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Scorpio, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Oh, Knight of Wands. More of that Aries energy that sometimes pops up in your readings, right? This is a card that sometimes says we need to let the horse sort of carry us away. You know, this is a horse that's kind of running off with the rider. Now, we can either be caught off guard by our impulses and by our will and by our kind of excitement and spontaneity, or we can just sort of grab the reins and hold on tight, you know. We could either lose control, we could fall off, or we could say, you know, I'm going to trust in this impulse, trust in this urging, right, from this vital, energetic part of yourself. I'm going to trust it. And I'm going to see where it takes me. I'm going to go with this energy. Okay? You're somebody who, I think for a large part of your life, you never really went with your gut. You never really trusted yourself and these kind of spontaneous surges of energy, right? These impulses, I guess. But I feel like now you're learning to trust yourself. You're learning that there needs to be a unity between the horse and the rider, right? The rider isn't just sort of carried off by the horse wherever the horse takes him. No, has to hold on to the reins and has to kind of trust that, you know, our body, our energy, our souls, or wherever it comes from, is leading us in the right direction. Okay? Kind of going with your instinct here. We're going to put this card into a little bit of context to see where this quality of yours might be most needed in your life right now. Okay? Let's see what other cards we get here. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. We have a Knight of Cups, a 10 of Cups, Princess of Wands, very interesting, and a 3 of Wands. A lot of fiery energy right here. A nice cluster of fire energy. Okay. Also, Scorpio, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right, let's finish up Path of the Serpent here. We've got the Death card, the 10 of Pentacles, a 2 of Swords, and the universe itself. Wow, that's big, right? This is kind of rushing out into a whole new universe, that you're taking the world by storm, right? I feel like this is really an overnight kind of change for you. This is a sudden urge to go do something big, right? This is a sudden, you know, the sudden taking off of your, well, maybe of your business, your career, your finances, kind of trusting in the momentum, trusting in yourself, trusting in your gut here. All right. Now let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. Going to go right here with Mr. Tao, the yin-yang duck. Now, we are not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us our confirmation, okay? If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. All right, let's take a look around the room here. Major Arcana, we've got the slow and steady progress of the Death card, and then we've got the wide open possibilities of the universe. And this Death card this death energy is the fundamental force of the universe. This is the card of change. This is the card of kind of a forward motion, right? This is the force of change in the universe that expands the universe. So you're trying to grow your life, grow yourself. This is a self-development. This is you trying to improve yourself and kind of continually become a better version of yourself, on and on and on and on. This is also you trying to build something very significant in your life. You're trying to grow your life and expand your life. The death card is slow and steady. What we see over here, not very slow or steady. Something very fast and unsteady. Well, maybe we want to stabilize it. Maybe we want to get steady, right? But we want things to be faster. Okay, so we've got our fire, fire, fire. We've got water over here. We got just a little bit of air, not even very much air. The air is what you don't want. Okay, it's in the position of the obstacle here. You got to leap right over this. Okay, and then we've got our earth energy, of course. And the earth energy, I think, is doing a couple of things. One, it's showing a potential tower situation for you, where some of your creative energy or some of your life force seems to be locked up and restricted in this, perhaps in a situation or a way of life or a relationship with something or someone, right? That it doesn't need to be. It has this urge to burst beyond these boundaries. You want to break free from these tower walls, right? It's kind of like we're looking down on the tower. And inside the tower, we see this Knight of Wands just kind of going crazy inside these walls, going stir crazy. Time to break these bonds. Time to break the chains that bind you, right? And I think that's significant there. So we've got our air, we've got more earth, we've got earth energy over here too in the environment, right? Kind of going out and searching for your pot of gold here. Searching for that wealth, searching for that best life ever. The Four of Pentacles is not so much your best life. It's a situation where you feel that things are stable, right? It's a stabilized energy, sure. It's kind of, again, it's sort of slow and steady. It's kind of like the death card slowly marching to that infinite universe. That, yeah, maybe you're making progress, slowly building up this life of yours, a little bit at a time. But it's become fairly routine. It's become so familiar. It doesn't really feel like movement anymore. I feel like we're going a little stir crazy in our own life. It seems like this is a stability, but it feels like a restriction. It feels as if there is no progress, there is no movement. You know, things become too routine or too stable, too steady. When your suspension in your car is too good, you can't feel the road. Sometimes forget we're even moving in the car, right? When the road is too straight and the pavement is too smooth, we get sort of hypnotized and we forget that we're in a car. We forget that we are traveling. We're not aware of movement, right? So I think that there's a restless feeling that's growing inside of you. And I think this is a situation for you, it's too small for you. Whether it's a job, a relationship, or something, I feel like we need to expand on this. I feel like things are going to start happening faster for you as soon as you start trusting your gut. As soon as we get into this Knight of Wands energy, and you're sort of unleashing your own fire. And you're letting yourself do it. The Four of Pentacles is a very safe place. It's safety, security, stability. We love it. As human beings, we like that. Are you sacrificing your greater potential for the sake of this stability? Because what we sort of see here is a little bit of a risk. It's safe inside these walls. Why do you want to go outside the walls? Well, you know, I mean, this is the beginning of many a great movie and book, right, and TV show. There's safety here. Why would you question this? Why would you want to go outside? Why is this not enough for you? You know, that's a fundamental question. We don't know why. I'm not going to ask why. That's a question that's meant to distract you. Why? Why do you want to do that? It doesn't matter. I want to. I'm going to. I'm doing it. Here I go. Watch me go, right? Because while this is safety, security, and stability, I think that you are feeling ready to take a little bit of a risk on what could be infinitely greater. I feel like this is something that maybe has been building up in you for a while, and it's kind of time to make this, it feels like an overnight change. Because yeah, there's a moment where you walk through the door. There's a moment where you go outside these walls. You know, taking that step outside the door shouldn't take 20 years. It takes, literally, I mean, it's you're walking through the, if you're walking, it takes what, 1-2 seconds to get through a doorway. Okay? Now, underneath the surface, we've got a Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is all about your ability to know what you like. You know, you want that exchange with the world that feels good to you. You want to pursue your holy grail. This is someone that's being led by their heart. This is somebody, this is a Cancer energy. This is someone on a mission. This is somebody that can see paradise in the future and is saying, I want that. I know what I want. You know? And there's a reason why you're sort of looking out the castle walls, looking through the castle, looking out the windows of the tower, you know, and you're seeing this wide open kingdom, and you're just thinking, I need to get out there. There's something out there for me that I want, that I need. And I think it's the expression of your soul. I think it's your creative will. It is your best life ever. Right? It's your 10 of Pentacles, but it's also your 10 of Cups. And I think that's very important as a motivating factor, because the Knights are always looking toward the future. So the Knight of Wands is looking toward the future and seeing this infinite universe and starting to feel restless being bound up in these four walls, right? The Knight of Cups is looking forward into this infinite universe and seeing a 10 of Cups, seeing that ultimate satisfaction, just seeing a life that is full of meaning, right? And purpose, a purpose-driven life. That's why this is behind you. I think the 10 of Cups is back here because you've known a purpose-driven life. And maybe this is back in the day, I don't know, a year, 5, 10, 20 years ago. You had this ideal of a dream come true. You had this vision. And I think you lived your life according to this vision. Now, somehow we went from this to a 4 of Pentacles, you see. Somehow we went from pursuing this, having this ideal, this is what I want, to kind of getting in this routine, getting in this safety and security. And sometimes that's what we do in life. You know, when we're young, we have these big, amazing dreams, right? These just marvelous, kind of ridiculously huge dreams and aspirations, right? And then life happens, and we get into a 4 of Pentacles, and it's stability. It's a routine, and it feels comfortable. It feels rather safe, right? And I think now we're starting to say, okay, that's fine, but you can't shake this feeling. Maybe back in the day it was a little bit too overwhelming. Sometimes a 10 of Cups is like, it's too much. You know, it's like we've eaten too much at the buffet, and I don't want to look at it anymore. And so we kind of like now to get back to our 4 of Pentacles, our very strict meal plan, you know, smaller portions kind of thing. But you just can't shake this feeling that there is more out there for you. that there is this dream life that still awaits you. Yeah. So it might be that, in your past you sort of chose the safety of life, the security and the stability. You've chosen this Four of Pentacles over your Ten of Cups. Because maybe at the time when we're younger, this feels too overwhelming, or it feels unreasonable, or it feels like this is not what normal people do, right? This isn't like, this isn't what your parents would sort of tell you or advise you to do. And a lot of the time in life, we get sort of pigeonholed into certain things. We just find our way somehow into a routine. And it's just like, that's what our life's become. And I don't know how long I've been here, but this is what I've been doing. I think something is waking up in you. And I think you're at a time in your life where this Knight of Cups is waking up, and you feel this underneath the surface. You feel this drive and this yearning. It's a yearning to live that life of purpose. We maybe don't even know really what it looks like exactly, but we want it. We know it's not in that Four of Pentacles. We know that we have to break out of these walls. It doesn't mean that the Four of Pentacles is bad in any way. No. This is good. This provides for us. This gives us a sense of safety and security and stability. This is the routine. This is the habit of life that was working for us. Maybe we just need to step out of the box a little bit. We don't want to, this isn't a tower moment. This tower isn't crumbling down. But I think we need to take ourselves outside of our safety, outside of our comfort zone, creatively or spiritually speaking, right? Maybe emotionally speaking. And we need to take some risks, right? We've got a Princess of Wands at the top of the path of the dove. Princess of Wands, usually quite risky. Dancing with the tiger here, doing the dangerous thing, right? But the Knight of Wands is sort of trusting your instinct in this, trusting your gut. Yeah. Whereas the Princess of Wands, by themselves, this is reckless. I think you've got, I want to say a calculated risk, but it's not calculated necessarily. It is sort of, it's just an instinctual knowledge that you know how to do this, right? Maybe trusting in your body, trusting in what you feel compelled to do. It's just kind of like you find your body walking in that direction and you don't know why, but it's just, I'm not asking why. This is where we have to go. This is an urge. This is a yearning. Okay? And I think you're somebody that you don't usually take risks unnecessarily. So if you're feeling this kind of energy, there's a good reason for it. You're not really a huge risk taker, are you? But right now, you are, And this is kind of that thing. It's like, look, Pisces never take, Scorpio. Which, by the way, when we get over here, your power card, right? Scorpio never takes risks, right? But if they're willing to take this risk now, it must be really important. It must be a really super huge deal if Scorpio's getting all worked up about it. So we better pay attention, And I feel that this is, it really feels like you're waking up one morning and you're thinking, for some reason, today's the day that things are completely different for me. It feels like an overnight change. Yeah. And what it leads to going forward, Scorpio, Three of Wands, it leads you to yourself. It leads you to the knowledge of who you are and why you're here. Yeah. It leads you to your sense of power. Right? The Three of Wands is virtue. Three of Wands is identity. Okay? Three of Wands is an empowerment because it's saying that if you put all of your effort into it, if you trust your body, your heart, and your mind. And your will be accomplished. Like, you will succeed, right? And that's kind of our Knight of Wands too, right? Trusting in the horse. The horse and the rider have to be one unit. And we've got to be able to trust this impulse in us. And again, Scorpio, you're not usually the one to just get up and start taking a lot of unnecessary risks. So if that's the energy right now, then there's a reason for it, and it needs to be paid attention to. Okay. So this is a path that I think is taking you out of any kind of restrictive boundaries that you've placed on yourself. And it's allowing you to explore your creativity, to take this big risk on maybe a business endeavor, maybe a new investment, maybe taking a chance on pursuing that dream that you've always kind of had in the back of your mind that maybe, well, I don't know, we have 1, 2, 3 court cards here, Scorpio, so maybe it's even a situation where, the group has kind of assimilated you into it. Family, society, friends, and it's just kind of like we put our dreams back there and we sort of lost touch with them as we got absorbed into society. Do you know what I mean? But now I feel like there is this return of this yearning for that dream again. Whatever that 10 of Cups is, the knowledge that you can be, you can be pursuing this purposeful life, this life of meaning and depth. Yeah. And the 3 of Wands, of course, is that sense of, it's my right to do that. I have the power to do that. Okay. Now, as we go to the path of the Serpent, of course, Scorpio, your superpower card, right? The Death card rules the sign of Scorpio. So this is leading you to your true self, this awakening, this overnight change in you. It sort of has woken you up to, 1, your potential, 1, how you are a co-creator with the universe. Okay. And how you are responsible for which direction your life takes from here to that universe card. It's up to you. You're the one kind of carrying the machete, cutting a path through the jungle. The 4 of Pentacles is kind of routine. It's kind of, it's saying that, look, this is, you're part of the world. You're part of society, you're part of the machine, and you just do what you're supposed to do, and it's fine. It's a role that's already been created, and then you just put your energy into it. It's already there for you, right? It's like the IKEA life. But this is you now. You're going to build your own bedroom furniture, right? This is you saying, I'm forging a new path. I don't want to do what the rest of my friends are doing. I don't want to do what my family does. I don't want to do what everybody around me seems to think is, the way life is supposed to go. Not just in terms of business or how you make money, but in terms of relationships or interests or extracurricular activities or things that we study and things that we are interested in and whatever. To me, it feels like this is more about how you are expressing your creativity in order to grow your life, both financially and in terms of your spiritual growth. Okay? I kind of feel as if you are taking a chance on your big love, your big great idea for your business or for your YouTube channel or whatever it is, right? Now, this Death card is that slow and gradual change. It's kind of saying, in the old life, it would be a very slow and step-by-step process. It would be, we get to our goal, we get to, our infinite life, right? Our limitless potential, we get there sort of one day at a time. And we do things slowly but surely, right? Well, that's fine if we had infinite time. We don't have the luxury of infinite time here. We have a limited amount of time in our life. So doing the things step by step, slowly and surely, it's kind of like reinventing the wheel a little bit. It's almost like, why are we doing that? Let's Let's make these big moves. The step-by-step stuff works, yeah. Sometimes we got to take a big step, though. Sometimes we need that overnight progress. Sometimes we need a leap, right? And my wife and I, she does tea leaf readings over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. And we have a 4-year-old daughter. But when she was young, when she was, 1, 2 years old, we were reading about developmental progress in children and about how they take these leaps, developmentally, like brain development and stuff. And with each leap comes a new challenge in behavior, either sleep regression or, just different things, fussiness, more crying, and just things like this, or just like more of an attitude, or more kind of more pushback, to authority and things like this. And so every time that she would get, our daughter would get more fussy about things, or she'd have more difficulty sleeping, or this kind of thing, she must be going through a leap, And I kind of feel that that's what we're doing here. This is a developmental leap for you. This is the slow and steady evolution. Sometimes we need that leap. Sometimes the step by step by step by step, it would take eternity to get anywhere, right? So we have to have these big jumps. And I think that's what we're doing here. Now, in the environment, you got the 10 of Pentacles, wealth, right? This is talking about your relationships. I think that as you take this risk, you take this big leap of faith, let's say, with yourself and with your energy, and you are trusting in your instinct, and you're moving forward to manifest this dream of yours, I think you're going to find a lot of resources on your path. Okay? I think things are going to be there when you need them. I think you're going to find a lot of doors are opening to you. It seems as if when we trust in ourselves, we start getting a lot more green lights. Okay? And this is also very important for your progress, because what you're trying to do in your environment and through your relationships, not just romantic relationships, not even just relationships with people, but relationships with the world itself, how you are relating to your environment. You have to make sure that everything you do is a vessel that can contain that dream. Okay? Why are you going to build something that this cannot fit into? That would be nonsense, right? That would be insanity, really. Yeah. It'd be absurd, right? So the things that you're doing in life, all of your efforts, all of these sort of step-by-step goals, moving forward, they have to be the right shape and size to fit your dream. Otherwise, you're trying to squeeze your dream, like over here. You're trying to squeeze your dream into something that doesn't fit. It's not gonna fit in there no matter how you do it. But over here, you're creating a new environment for yourself, one that is going to very easily fit your dream into it. The pentacles, the earth energy, the material world is the vessel, the container for the creative or spiritual worlds, for your dream life. This is the dream, this is the container that will fit like a glove, right? And so this is a discernment that we need to have. That's our ability to know what we are creating, and to have the intelligence and the power to sort of nudge the river of our actions, of our destiny, so that we are creating more of the right kind of pentacles that match up with, that correspond to our dream. Okay? And with the Two of Swords, of course, as the obstacle, it's difficult for us not to intellectualize things. Okay? You're somebody who does like their rational thinking, Scorpio. For you, if it has to make sense, right? And sometimes our gut feeling, our instinct, wherever it comes from, sometimes it doesn't make sense. We can't apply sort of rational standards to something that is inherently irrational. We're mixing the planes. This is a spiritual creative impulse, right? It's not going to yield to our intellectual analysis. It's just not going to work. And once we get started with this, we're slowing ourselves down. Then we're setting back our progress, and we should never even have started. It doesn't mean that you can't think about it or have a plan. No, because again, you have to be discerning about what you're putting your effort into, what you're creating, what decisions you're making, what deals you're making, and what relationships you are focusing on. Because you want to create your environment. Really, this is you becoming the magician. Because you're creating your environment in such a way that it can be the manifestation of your dream. So you have to be able to know what that is. You have to have some sort of a plan, and you have to be able to make these decisions, right, to create this world for yourself. But we don't want to get so wrapped up in our thinking, in our mental energy, that we're unable to make a decision. Sometimes the Two of Swords is like that, the fatigue, the decision fatigue. Or it's even more than that. It goes back to the paradox of freedom, of choice, right? Because we feel this overwhelming yearning, right? This desire. But when we start to get wrapped up in our own thoughts about it, we end up paralyzed. We end up not being able to do anything. And I think what would begin to happen for you is your Knight of Wands would get so restless in this Four of Pentacles that even the Four of Pentacles security and stability will start to break down. It's almost like you're in this job, right? But there's this yearning for something else. And if we don't do something with all this fire energy, with all this yearning, this desire, this creativity, eventually we're going to start to make mistakes in our life, in this routine, in the current, let's say it's your current job, right? When you know that your energy is leading you somewhere else, but we're trying to stay here because there's some indecision or there's some rationalization or something like that, we're going to start to make mistakes, and our attention to detail in our present work is going to break down. We might end up getting fired anyway. You know what I mean? And I've been in situations like that. I've been in jobs where, I knew that my heart or my will or my spirit was headed somewhere else. I was trying to resist it. And in the meantime, I was making mistakes on paperwork. I was forgetting to do things, right? Because it's almost like our souls are distracted already by something else. Okay? But that's kind of a Two of Swords. We don't want to be, we can't have 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the door. It's got to be a motion. We've got to be walking out the door. We can't stand in 2 places at once. You can't be half in to your new life and half stuck in your old life. And that's going to lead to, an infinite delay, a complete halt, right? Our next card then is our Universe card. Limitless possibilities. And I think that in some ways this is the container too, right? Because the Universe card is some earth energy. Just as we had our 10 of Pentacles to fill with our 10 of Cups, well, we have this infinite universe to fill with infinite cups. There's no limit here. And that's the point about the 10s, that there's no limit to what we can achieve either. There's no limit to how much satisfaction. This, yeah, there's a limit here. But this is only meant to be temporary. This is supposed to be one stepping stone. But then we've just sort of camped out on this little stepping stone. We forgot to take the next step, So the Universe card is saying that, yeah, there's been a delay in your life, but now's the time. This is going to be so good. You've got to get back to your dream. Wake up, remember what your dream is and get back to it. Trust yourself. Trust that you know the way. Trust that your heart and your soul knows the way. Your body knows the way. Okay? I want to look at our mystery card. Let's see. I'm kind of feeling, I kind of think it's going to be another world card. That's what I'm feeling. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Two of Wands. Two of Wands, I feel like, is that decision to trust yourself. You see you got the world in your hands there? You see that? You got the globe. And also you see down here, this wand is fixed to the castle wall. It's fixed to the rampart, while the other wand is in your hand, and it's taking you to the whole world. So it's like you can either stay stuck here, fixed here, limited here, restricted, restrained, or you can move forward and make the world your castle, you know? So it's kind of like, making that decision on that spiritual level. Yeah. And it's intense. Yeah, it's intense. What else is intense is our extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Scorpio, Wednesday and Saturday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It really does support the channel, and I appreciate that. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.